Welcome. Today we're going to be discussing cross of death, its execution, some things you should know about its execution, some problems that may arise and how to compensate for those problems, and just some general information you should know about the technique. So let's talk about the ideal phase. This ideal phase is off of a major, an applied major. So what does that mean? That means they're grabbing us and they're beginning to try and choke us out, meaning we have to deal with it very quickly. Unlike, say, a two-hand lapel grab, we may or may not have to go be as aggressive. In this case, we need immediate reaction, so that what we're going to do is we're going to try and first alleviate what's going on, but also take advantage of the fact of what they're trying to do to us. So let's go into that a little bit more. So as they begin to apply this, notice what happens to their elbows. They're going to be pulling me towards them a little bit. So what we want to do is we want to control that depth that they're trying to get on us by taking our left hand and putting it on top and pinning them to us. There's two ways you can do this. One is with the hand, but keep in mind, notice I'm not really controlling it as much as I can. The other one is I take my forearm and I apply it against their wrist. Doesn't matter which one you do, but keep in mind that this one gives you a little bit more control over their depth than this one. But the general idea is, let's spin around so you can see it. I don't want to just try and do this with my arm horizontal. What I want to do is compress it to my body so that I can then use body fusion at that point. And that alleviates them from applying that choke, right? Because what we're doing is we're controlling both the depth and width of their hands. Let's spin that around so you can see what's going on with this also. So now watch what will happen as they begin to apply this, and if I don't. My head is coming towards them, and their head is going to be coming towards us. So we have to worry about that. They could be potentially trying to headbutt us too. So all throughout this beginning salvo, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we start keeping our head as bent as possible. So as we go through this first piece, keep in mind, if they ever try to hit us with their head, we want to make sure that they hit us to the top of our head, not our nose. So as we go forward, you're going to see me try and bend my head forward. That's for that reason. So once we've gotten this piece and we're starting to do that anchor on the elbow, we then want to take advantage of this left elbow. So what we want to do is hit with that inward horizontal forearm or horizontal rotation, vertical orientation. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit here and then shoot this straight back. So notice what I'm doing, coming in this way, keep that head down, chin down. Second thing that this does for the chin also is, even if they don't begin to do the application with my hand, I can apply and stop that choke a little bit, very similar to what you do in other techniques to try and stop the choke, at least to the front of the throat, but not to the sides. So we need both. So if I can get that chin in, notice what happens here. If they try to do the headbutt, I have that defeated. So I want 1, 2 to get them back. Now what I want to do is I want to do an uppercut here because I've got them in a prone position, which is very good for us. But then what happens is I'm going to be losing control of these two hands again. And if I do that uppercut again, I have to worry about the headbutt. So keep that head leaning forward as you do this next piece. So I do not want a gap here. I'm going to use contouring to contour along the hand. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with the other hand with the right hand. So I'm replacing the two. This is called mirroring. I'm doing it to the left and then I'm doing it to the right. So once I do this vertical punch, I do this hit. Now I'm going to spin around again so that you can see this. One thing that may happen here, you're trying to do this technique too fast. And you get to this piece and you do this uppercut, but notice what I did not do. I did not create the alignment that I need. So I'm going to do it towards the camera so that you can see it. When I do this uppercut, I want the knuckles, wrist, elbow, shoulder, hips, knee, heel, and toes all in the same line as I do this hit. So when I get here to this uppercut, I want to make sure that this is all in line at the same time. What I don't want to do is just try and do the hit and bounce off, which is trying to outpace yourself. So make sure these are all major hits that you're doing here. And you need it especially for this left hand because it's your minor hand. So if you don't have that proper alignment, you're not going to get the penetration that you need for that uppercut. So you want 1. So you get that hit, you want that up all in line. And then you're going to bounce off with this right hand and hit. Again, keep in mind, I'm going to say this one more time, keep that head down because if I do this uppercut, you're going to get hit in the nose again. So make sure you have that head down. We're going to bounce up. The problem that can arise here, you're going to be hitting with the back of your hand. Don't do that. Make sure that you turn those knuckles so that you're hitting with the knuckles underneath the jaw. Remember, we have an open-ended triangle here, so we can hit anywhere from the throat to the chin. We're 1, 2, and then at the same time, what we're going to do is we're going to step offline here and keep this left hand under check with our left hand so we can continue into the next piece. So let's turn around again so you can see that next piece. So we've gotten to here. We're going to do this uppercut. I'm going to step off the line. Notice the position I'm in. I'm coming up, and then I'm rotating to this hit. The ideal phase says we're going to hit the ribs. But if I begin to press this a little bit more, we may actually get to the kidney. It doesn't really matter. The technique will still continue to work the same. So it doesn't matter whether there's a little rotation or a lot of rotation. The ideal phase says we are basically moving, not moving them. But you could, if we take those different considerations, move them too with us, then expose that kidney, depending upon what we want. If you do that, make sure that you worry about orbits that can reorbit back to hit you. So in other words, if I do this, I have to worry about that. So that's why we generally move, not move them. So once we're into this position, what we want again, remember we have that alignment again, and what we have is called a chopping punch. So how does a chopping punch work? It's not like a normal punch. You want to think like you're going to be hitting that kidney. I'm reaching a little bit, which I shouldn't be doing, but I'm doing it to explain what's going on here. So I want to try and hit that kidney, but I'm too close. So I go as if I'm going to hit that kidney, get everything in line, and then shoot that like an uppercut. So that's what's called a chopping punch, because it comes in at an angle of a chop, but then switches to the punch. This is now a snapping, not a thrusting punch. So what that means is instead of digging deep and staying in there, it pulls back. Now the amount that you pull back is important. You don't want to break the principle of economy of motion. So you don't want to pull all the way back into your chamber and then try and do the hit. But I've done the hit and I have something in my way. So it's lost line of sight. So what I want to do is when I pull my hand back just enough to where I have line of sight to what I'm going to hit. So you're not really contouring, but you're taking advantage of the contour of the body. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull so that you can get that line of sight, so then you can continue forward with the end of the technique. So we do this hit, pull back. Now notice this, we retracted on the exact same line. The next piece we will not. We will be using a diversified angle retract, and I'll explain that why in just a second. So we keep this check up here, do the hit, pull back, notice they're coming toward us. Again, keep that head down and keep just in case. And then we're going to do this hit on the side of the face, anywhere from the jaw to the socket up here. And then you're going to pull back, maintaining the cover, because now the left hand is going to lose its check. Then we pull back on a different line, maintaining that check on the arm. That's called a diversified angle retraction. So this is the same line, reversing motion. This is diversified angle retraction, meaning it's not a reverse motion. It's going on a different line out. So we cross out and cover. Okay, let's do this one more time with a quick walk through the explanation. We're going to leave the major part of this application with our forearm as we step forward and hit. Keep our head down. If we can get the chin in, that'd be great. Do this vertical forearm on the horizontal line. Do the hit to get him back. Uppercut. Make sure you get that alignment for that uppercut and contour back. Hit up, hitting with the knuckles. Step off, moving ourselves, not them. Do this chopping punch. Pull back just enough, as much as you need in order to get line of sight. Hit, pull back in a diversified angle retraction. Cross out and cover. Okay, one more time, slightly faster so that you can see it without any explanation. Up. Hope this video helps you. Thank you very much.